Hello again. Today we are talking about purpose. Now, purpose is something that is extremely necessary for young guys. If you're anything like me, you may have taken a really long time to find your purpose. Or if you're anything like how I used to be, you probably clicked on this video because you can't really tell anyone your purpose. If someone asked you, what is your purpose on this earth, you wouldn't know what to say. You'd have a really hard time really outlining the direction of your life. And that's essentially what purpose is. It's the direction that every part of your life goes to. Once you've decided as a man in your mind that this is my purpose, this is what I'm meant to do, then pretty much everything you do kind of just naturally flows into that modality of purpose. Now, my purpose, I think I discovered my purpose in college. Now, I didn't finish college, but basically what I learned there and what I learned from listening to people like Jordan Peterson, say what you want about him, is purpose is genuinely something that it lifts you up out of bed in the morning. It's what activates your neurons. It's one of the strongest weapons you have to fight against depressions. It really doesn't occur to people that they need a purpose in this life. A lot of people kind of just jump on the I'm meant to have kids bandwagon. I always like to imagine having children as kind of like the primary main quest line of life. You know how when you're playing an RPG or something, you look at, you got the main quest and then you have the side quests, which most people prefer the side quests unless the story is really good. I always imagined the main quest for absolutely every being in this universe is to make more of itself and to reproduce, so that's what I always looked at it as, but there's more to life than just making babies, right? You got to find out why you're here, specifically you, because if everyone's purpose was to make kids, then what's the point of that? It's the continuous cycle of samsara. It's a continuous just, I want to make this baby whose purpose will be to make more babies, and their purpose will be to make more babies. It's not really. Someone's gonna stop along the way and go, wait, what is this all for? Why are we doing this? Especially in this day and age when testosterone levels are so low and men and women are more divided than ever, quite frankly. We need to find a purpose outside of just being breeders, right? Or even better yet, we need to find a purpose just outside of stimulating our synapses, right? That's where a lot of people go wrong. They think, okay, I just need to get as much good experience as I can. And that's, a lot of you may know the word for that. It's called hedonism. And it feels really, it feels amazing. It's the weed, it's the drugs, it's the video games, it's the casual sex. But then you realize eventually that it just becomes a hole. It's just a continuous bottomless pit that you'll never find the bottom of, and whatever level you're on now, you'll probably never be satisfied with it. There won't be that level of fullness and completeness in your heart that you'll have with an actual purpose. Now, I discovered my purpose in college, like I said. My purpose has always been to just spread a positive message, just to learn as much as I possibly can, translate it, because, not to toot my own horn or anything, but growing up, everyone always told me I was smart. I always told them, I don't really agree with that, because I never wanted to feel like an egomaniac or some sort of, I didn't want to have a huge ego, basically. I didn't want to have a huge ego. I basically disagreed with them, but upon just seeing the stupidity in the world, upon seeing just how just how low level a lot of people's thinking is, I kind of have come to that conclusion. And I'm trying to be as earnest as I can here, right? I'm not trying to be a dick. Genuinely speaking, there are some dumb motherfuckers walking around here. And a lot of those dumb motherfuckers are good people. So my job this is the part where a lot of people are probably going to log off and be all offended. Oh, he just called me a dumb motherfucker. But a lot of people are really well intentioned. A lot of people are just good people, but they're not smart enough to make the right choices, or they're not knowledgeable enough to know where the dangers lie. You know, in the drugs, the alcohol, the sex, the video games. A lot of people can be tricked and think, oh, video games are fine. 1 hour a day is fine. Meanwhile, it's stealing the willpower they would have had for just making their own lives and the lives around them better. And that's my purpose here, is just to gather all that information and condense it into a lesson that everyone can understand. That's why I'm on YouTube. That's why I'm making these videos, right? Now, finding your own purpose, it really takes a lot of looking at your beliefs. It takes a lot of questioning, you know, do I believe in God? Do I believe there was some conscious thing that brought me here and told me, hey, you need to do X, or you're meant for X? Do I believe I was some soul in the ether before coming here, and I came here for my own purposeful reason, and ever since then, just all the slime of life, all the 3D density of life just kind of just piled itself on top of me, and now I can't even find my purpose? A lot of those things could be true. I find that there are two very powerful things you can do to help yourself find your own purpose, and that is prayer and meditation. Now, I always looked at prayer as speaking to God and meditation as listening to God. Now, prayer is obviously, you know, it can be in the religious context, it can be in the spiritual context. I'm not telling you to worship any specific thing, right? That's not what this channel's for. I'm telling you, reaching out to a higher power, be it whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, your higher self, whatever, actively trying to reach out to a higher power usually renders a much better result than just kind of winging it, you know? Because if you're winging it, you're very likely to just indulge. I like being drunk, so I'm gonna get drunk. I like sugar, so I'm gonna eat sugar all the time. Like, it's infantile, and it's gonna lead to a bad life for yourself and those around you. You pray, and that doesn't mean worshiping anything. That doesn't mean, you know, a very specific thing that you need to do. Oh, Hail Mary, full of grace, all this stuff you've been taught. It literally just means reaching out to what you believe the higher power to be and talking to it. That's exactly what it means. And whatever may come back to your mind, you can interpret that as what your purpose is. When you ask, what was I put on this earth to do? What was I meant to do with the time I have on this planet, in this reality? It can't be for nothing. It can't just be for pleasuring myself and hoarding all the good experiences for myself. That's a really good way to just tease out your purpose. Journaling about it. You got to ask the question, what am I here for? What am I here for? And to ensure clarity of mind, the second habit is an extremely important thing you got to do, okay? You meditate on it. Maybe you'll meditate on the question. A lot of people stare at a wall and focus on their breathing, and that's their mindfulness meditation. That's their mindfulness meditation, and that's one of the millions of ways to meditate. Another can just be staring at a wall with no stimulation other than that aching question in your mind. What's my purpose? What's my purpose? What am I here for? Why am I on this earth? Why am I in this plane of reality? And for me, I fully believe it's to inspire, uplift, and help people with a useful, valuable, hopeful message. That's really all it is. And ever since just deciding that, because that's another thing, it may not even be something you're bestowed with, it's just something you decide. When I decided that, my life got so much more clear. It got more organized. I still had problems. I still didn't understand the means with which I was supposed to do that. I wanted to write books. I still want to write books. But getting on your purpose and understanding your purpose will make the path so much clearer for you. It'll make the good habits obvious to you. You ever find yourself in that situation where you're just kind of moseying about and you got nothing to do and you just don't know what to do, but that temptation is nagging you? Oh, play some video games. Oh, smoke the weed. You're bored, right? There's nothing else to do. Having purpose gives you the other end of that structure. It gives you the other end of that spectrum. It goes, oh, well, there's nothing to do. Might as well journal. Might as well bust out a YouTube video. Might as well read. Might as well write. Might as well sharpen your blade for that golden purpose you've extracted from yourself, from God, from thin fucking air. What I'm telling you right now is you need a purpose and you need it fast, okay? So get on that. Capiche?